Warner Glenn's family first settled here along the Arizona-Mexico border in 1896. At 83 years old, Glenn works the ranch each day and is well known throughout the area. He says illegal immigrants have always been a part of the landscape.
We moved down here in '62, and at that time, there would be 2 or 3 illegals coming through and looking for work, and all the ranchers worked them on and off. They were wonderful for especially hard labor type work and good cowboys if you needed a cowboy. But I tell you, nowadays, the few that are coming through are pretty hardcore, especially the drug guys.
And now residents on the border are seeing an overall rise in crime.
When they come back, if they go by a residence and nobody's there, they're going to go in and look around. And firearms, top of the list. Any kind of jewelry, top of the list. Cash, top of the list.
We don't lock the doors because they'd just break the window anyway.
Billy Grossman lives nearby, and illegals have entered his home a number of times. He recently caught a smuggler trying to steal his truck.
Well, I brought him back to the house, and my wife called the sheriff. And the sheriff and Border Patrol come out and got him, and then we went back to the pickup, and there was a bale of marijuana in the back of my pickup, and he had stolen a lot of stuff from the house.
But petty theft isn't what worries these old cowboys the most.
And that would be nothing to a terrorist from ISIS or these guys. And it'd be just a cakewalk for them to go up through these mountains.
Well, if it's that easy for an unemployed Mexican to walk across here, ISIS come in here plumb simple.
In fact, 3,755 known or suspected terrorists were prevented from traveling to or entering the United States by the Department of Homeland Security in fiscal year 2018.
This is one of the loneliest border crossings on the U.S. southern border. It's on the Tohoto-O'odham Indian Reservation, which is about 4,000 square miles of desert on the U.S. southern border in Arizona. The Tohoto-O'odham people live on both sides of the border, and they used to cross with impunity. But it's getting harder now for them to visit their relatives because of the incredible amount of human smuggling and drug trafficking that happens in this area.
Unemployment on the reservation sits at more than 25%, while the average annual income is only $8,000. This makes smuggling an attractive proposition when cartel members offer up to $5,000 per load. Matt Thomas is a deputy in Pinal County, just north of the reservation.
That is all open desert, and there's small villages throughout the reservation, but no major towns, no major cities, very minimal population, very minimal law enforcement. So they don't have a lot of interference to deal with between Mexico and when they hit our county. There's a huge area that the cartels use to cross into the U.S. where they go undetected. And as they cross into that area, then they start to funnel because of terrain towards our county.
That makes catching these smugglers more and more challenging. And this corridor has become known for violence, too. Last year, a border agent was shot by smugglers as he patrolled alone in the vast desert west of Nogales.
Those that want to come in this country and harm us, terrorists, have the infrastructure to get through here in Cochise County.
Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels oversees a border county covering more land than Connecticut. He says when the government fails to take a strong stand on immigration, it only makes things worse.
Anytime this administration talks about amnesty or anything that does with the border, we have an influx of people coming across. We sit back all the time and just wonder why won't they do something to fix this problem.
President Trump has so far had difficulty making long-term changes to truly stem the tide. And while the politicians point fingers, the cartels are ramping up their business. Over the last 10 years, the amount of cocaine coming across the southern border has more than doubled. The amount of methamphetamine, fentanyl, and heroin seized has increased as much as 4,000%. While the 5,000 members of the U.S. military currently deployed along the border bolster existing barriers, the additional air assets they provide are also giving border agents a faster way to respond when they get alerted.
It's been a great partnership. We've had extreme success. Just the other day, we were able to apprehend 3 different groups within, a 2-hour window. And traditionally, if we were just on the ground, that could take one agent about 4 to 5 hours to apprehend one group.
With the cartels rushing to take advantage of the crisis, and with Congress and the White House at odds about solutions, the troops on the border are going to stay as long as they are needed. On the U.S.-Mexico border, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.